Whenever I started this video, I neglected to mention the correct prices of all the components. Starting off with your motherboard, a Z370 Aorus gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. It'll cost you about $135. Next on our list is the i3-8100 Core by Intel, clocked at 3.6 GHz. It has 4 cores. That'll cost you about $120. Next we have the graphics card, PNY Nvidia GeForce graphics card 1050 Ti. It'll cost you about $100 depending on your deals. Could go to $120. Next we have the RAM-Corsair Vengence LPX 2 sticks by 4 gigs. I have it running in dual channel and it's clocked at 3000 megahertz. Next on our list we have our storage. The 1 terabyte Western Digital hard drive will cost you about $25 on eBay. The 250 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive will cost you about $10. And then we have the case. The Vision 2 BL case will cost you about $60 on Newegg. The total price for this PC is about $555. Hello and welcome to a gaming streaming budget build. Right here we have Western Digital hard drives clocked at 7200 RPM, 1 terabyte and 250 gigabytes. The price of both these would run you at about $60. Next we have Vengence LPX DDR4 RAM clocked at 3000 megahertz. We have a Z370 Aorus gaming Wi-Fi motherboard that has RGB fusion, VR ready, and supports 8th gen Intel core processors by Gigabyte. Next we have our graphics card. It's a 1050 Ti, 4 gigabytes, and it will run you at about somewhere in between $140 and $170 depending on your deals. Last, we have a EVGA 500 watt power supply, 80 plus bronze. That's important. Next we have a Core i3 8th gen processor by Intel. It has 4 cores and it's clocked at 3.6 gigahertz. And lastly, our Vision 2 case. It comes with 4 RGB blue fans, 2 dust filters, and plenty of space to work in. You can get this case off Newegg for about $60. First thing we gotta do is get the case open. These screws should unscrew like this, but if they don't, the only tool you'll need is a Phillips screwdriver. Next thing you want to do is place this somewhere where it will not get broke. Alright, you want to lay this thing down flat like this so that you'll have plenty of space to work in. Just ignore that. This case comes with an installation menu or a manual. It tells you all that you need to know. And it comes with a bag full of screws. That is bad. case if you lose one or two. Alright. You want to make sure you get your fan cord out of the way so that you don't end up putting your motherboard over it whenever you start building. This motherboard comes with built-in Wi-Fi right here, 6 SATA cord ports, your installation menu and driver disc, you never want to lay this thing down in anything except for the cardboard, in the case that it might draw static. Alright. First of all, you want to see how many of these screw holes it has. In my case it has 9. And then you want to look at your case. And make sure you have 9 of these in the correct spot. If it doesn't, your case should come with them and you may need to screw them in with a wrench or something like that. You want to get your screws out. And move the SATA cables that come with it. This motherboard comes with 2 USB 3.0 ports, 4 dual channel memory slots. It has SLI, which enables you to use 2 graphics cards. Now time to put it in our case. But before you put it in the case, you're supposed to put in your Aorus shield right down here. I already put mine in, so I won't have to do that. Alright. All you'll need is a Phillips screwdriver. And you'll need to start screwing in these screws where the pegs are. Now what you never want to do is start screwing it in a straight line. You want to go corner to corner, side to side, so you don't put too much stress on your motherboard. I didn't feel like boring y'all to death putting in them screws, so I skipped ahead. Next thing on our list is to put in the power supply. Alright, for this you want to lift your case and turn it how it's supposed to be. Then you're going to then you want to put in your power supply, 500 bronze, EVGA power supply, 80 plus bronze. It'll cost you about 35 bucks on Newegg or PC part picker. Alright. Like the motherboard, you want to do corner to corner. Alright. Alright, now that we got our power supply screwed in, you want to start off with this cord that powers your entire motherboard except for your CPU. You want to take it in through the back, and I find this to be the best cable management. Is just take it. Now that we got the power supply screwed in, you want to find this cord on your power supply. It powers every part of your motherboard except for your CPU. You want to take it in through the back and take it through the closest hole to its plug-in. You want to just push it in until you feel it snap. Next cord you want to find is a cord labeled as CPU cord. You want to take it in through the back also. Once I get it untangled. Through the same hole, only because it's the closest one. And you are going to find this plug-in right here. Should be close to your CPU port right here. And you want to plug it in. Alright, there's one. There's two. It's a little tight because of the cable management for this case. Next thing you want to do is put in your CPU, which goes right here. You want to throw that up, grab your CPU, and take it out of the box. For this build, your CPU should come with a processor and some thermal paste. Here's your processor. You want to take it out of the box. And it's best if you grab it by the corners. Now you should lift this metal piece up right here. And look for a corner. It should look like this. Don't force it in, it should just go on in. There you have it, that's how you put that in. Next thing on our list is cable management. You should have cables like this right here on your case if it has USB ports. You want to take them to their appropriate plug-ins and plug them in. I skipped ahead a process. Your case will come in with cords labeled as USB 3.0, USB, HD audio, power switch, and LED lights and stuff like that right there. And that's where you plug them in at. Next, we're going to plug in our fan headers. They go right here. One's right back here. One is right here. And one is right here. Alright. Your RAM will only go in one way, so don't be afraid of breaking it. Make sure I got mine plugged in right. Yep, you want to push it in until you hear the clicks. Yep. Next, we're going to put in our graphics card, our 1050 Ti. Alright, now you want to put your graphics card in the motherboard. You want to push down here till you hear the snap. And you'll have two holes right here. You'll need to get screws and screw it in. Now that we got the graphics card screwed in, I want to let you see what it looks like from this point in time. Looks like a nice PC. Alright. After you screw in your graphics card, you'll need to find a cord that looks like this right here, and it should say PCIe lane or PCIe, which means graphics card pretty much. Then you want to take it and run it through here and plug it in. Actually, if you want to record it better, take it in through the bottom down here. Of course, you're going to have to take your other PCIe lane and through the cord through there too. And you want to take it and plug it in just like this, and you'll hear the click. Now onto the storage. What you're going to need is 2 SATA ports or 2 SATA cables or 1, depending on how many storages you have. You want to go down here and it should just slide on in. Then you want to take your other one, slide that one on in as well. Now you want to take a cord that you'll find that looks like this, and it should just plug right on in. And you'll hear a slight click. Alright, now onto the SATA cables. After you do your cable management, all you need to do is put the back on and you'll have finger screws that tighten on. Next thing you want to do is turn your computer this way and then make sure you have everything right. Then you want to grab your front panel and put that on. Now that you got your glass window on and finger tightened all your screws, you want to peel the plastic off. Then you want to go around the screws and make sure there's no leftover plastic. This button right here is your power button. It turns on your PC. This is your reset button that resets or restarts your PC. There's your audio, your microphone, your USBs, and your USB 3.0. Alright, now that you got everything plugged up, you want to turn on the switch. You should see a blink, everything should start to turn on. And then you want to turn on your computer. Now on to the benchmarks. Our first benchmark is going to be Fortnite at epic settings. Our second benchmark is going to be Rainbow Six Siege at very high and ultra settings. Our third benchmark is going to be CSGO at the highest possible settings.